Cheers, peeps. Good morning. Welcome to Hopefully Here. I am Hope, and as always, super stoked to have you. It has been a weird month. May kind of got a little away from me. Things happened, and so I am filming this video because I haven't filmed a video in like 2 weeks. I've tried to film a couple, they just haven't worked out, but I'm actually really excited about this one because we are going to talk about the Big Book Summer Challenge. This challenge is hosted by, I believe her name is Sue Jackson. I will link her channel below with her video. And I guess she's been doing this for quite a while now. I've only just heard of it. And for me, I'm using it as an excuse to go through the books that are unread on my shelf, find the books that fit into this challenge, and trying to prioritize them over the next few months. So the challenge runs from Memorial Day weekend, which was last week, to Labor Day weekend, which I think is the first weekend of September. And the goal is to read at least one big book, and big books are 400 pages or more. I do tend to read books in that page range anyways, but this summer is going to be a little bit different than normal, and so I'm not sure that I'm going to be kind of just naturally inclined to read that length of book. But I do have so many books on my shelves that I haven't read yet I'd really like to get to, and so I think by prioritizing and kind of just stating that I would like to take part in this challenge, I'm hoping it'll keep them at the forefront. Let's talk about the books that are on my shelf that I'm going to attempt to get through. I have 8 here. I don't know that I'm going to get to all of them. Like I said, a few things are changing in my life. I don't have as much time as I once had. Pause. But I would still very much like to make sure I'm reading for a good portion. So let's start with The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This book is a classic, a modern classic, I think is maybe more what it's considered. It is 486 pages, so yeah, 486 pages. I have owned and read this book previously, eons and eons and eons ago. When did it come out? It was published in 2001. So like around 2001, I did in fact read this book, own this book. I remember absolutely nothing about it. And whenever people talk about it, it doesn't even trigger a memory. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into this. It is about a mysterious book that has been is being destroyed. And I don't really know exactly where it goes or anything like that, but I do know that it is a well-loved book, very beloved, and I am very much looking forward to reading it, and I'll be very curious through the process if I remember anything as I go. We have another just prolific writer, and I'm trying to get through some of her backlist, is The Lacuna by Barbara Kingsolver. This, I think, is one of her really big books, along with Demon Copperhead, which you can't see, but it's sitting right here. And I read The Poisonwood Bible earlier this year. I read The Bean Trees earlier this year. I really enjoy her writing. This is one that it won the Orange Prize, but I feel like I've heard mixed reviews on this one. I don't actually know what it's about. I bought this at a Friends at the Library sale for $1 or 50 cents or something, and decided to pick it up, but Barbara Kingsolver, just as a writer, as her whole collection of works, is somebody that I'm trying to get through because I think she's brilliant, and so very excited about that one. We seem to be kind of going for more like classic writers or something at this point. I also have Margaret Atwood's The Blind Assassin. She is another author who I'm trying to get through her backlist. I'm working a little bit more slowly through her. I find her writing to be a little bit more challenging to get through. She's a very dense writer, and I am excited to read this. Again, this is another one that I feel like in a past life I've possibly read, but I don't remember anything about it. And so it says, the book opens with 10 days after the war ended, my sister Laura drove a car off a bridge. I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's actually an assassin. I have got no idea. And this one comes in at 513 pages. Very excited about that one. This one is actually, I think, going to be a pretty easy read. It is 517 pages, and it is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I have every intention of rereading the Hunger Game series this summer at some point, and I have never read the prequel. So I grabbed it. I got this for my birthday a couple of months ago. I got the whole 4-book set, and I'm very excited to pick this up and see what it has to say. I didn't mind the movie. It's one of the first times ever I watched the movie before I read a book, so I'll be very, very curious to know what's changed, because obviously I think I'm going to get more detail in the book than I did in the movie. Very excited about that. This will be a reread for me for sure, and that is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I just finished reading her The Secret History, and I know she has another book as well. And she's just such an incredible writer. And when I read this originally, this is 769 pages. When I read this originally, it had just come out. So I was kind of young, 2013. I was kind of young when I read this book, and I don't know that I grasped or understood it as well as I could have. And so I really have wanted to reread this for a long time. And again, it was one that showed up at my Friends at the Library, and I was able to get it for $1. So that is one that I'm incredibly, incredibly excited about. I'm excited about all of them. I mean, I didn't purchase them because I wasn't excited about them. We have The Passage by Justin Cronin. This is another book that has been on my radar for absolute years. When I worked at a bookstore, just out of university, I worked at a bookstore for about 6 months, and this one was on the shelf, and I always thought it sounded really, really interesting, but I never picked it up. And I finally grabbed it. I think it is the first book in a trilogy. It is a Mahumeth trilogy, if that is the case. This one comes in at 766 pages. And I actually think it's one that Sue Jackson in her video talked about how she read it on like one of her first big book summer challenges. It was one of the books that she completed. So I'm very excited to get to this. I am hoping I love it because, as I said, it's part of a series, and I don't mind a good series, especially one that I don't know if it's finished. I think it's finished, but I'm not sure, but at least it's still being worked on. So that is always a bonus. I have A Day of Fall Night by Samantha Shannon. I am on a Samantha Shannon kick right now. I am currently rereading the Bone Season series because I got all of the new covers. I could probably insert a clip of me getting those covers because I was so excited about them. I'm gonna do that right here. I just got home from grocery shopping. You are sitting on a case of Spindrift. Look, new mug to add to the collection, but this was on my doorstep when I got home. Barnes & Noble. I am so excited. I ordered these books months ago, and they are finally here. The Mime Ordered, The Song Rising, The Mask Falling, and I already have The Bone Season. I think a reread is coming in the near future. I'm so excited. So yes, I am rereading The Bone Season. I am currently at The Song Rising. This book doesn't count. It's one of the shorter books. It's less than 400 pages. But I am loving it, and just, she's so good. I absolutely love her writing. I love her world building. I love her characters. I enjoyed Priory of the Orange Tree. So this is absolutely a book that I need to get to shortly. And then last, but certainly not least, the big honker, the one that I am most nervous about, but also really keen to see if I can get through, and that is The Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah, 1,200, 1,300 pages. I don't really know how I'm going to attack reading this book because it will be one of the biggest books I've ever read in my life, and it is a classic. And so I think I just need to go into it knowing that it can be slow. I don't need to just sit down and power read it, although if I love it, I can. But it is a book that I have wanted to try reading for eons and eons, and then not too long ago I heard Leanne at Literary Diversions talking about this book, and she loves it, and it finally compelled me to grab it. And behold of all miracles, it ended up showing up at my friend's library. So I was able to grab it for $1. And I thought, you know what, that's the sign. It's a sign to do it. And then this challenge came up and I was like, no, it's really the sign to do it. And so I'm going to. The Count of Monte Cristo, which I think is like a revenge story. I could be wrong, but yeah, a revenge story. Those are the books I'm going to tackle, hopefully, over the next few months. Like I said, I am rereading this series, and some of the books are certainly also eligible for this. But because I'm currently reading them right now, they aren't ones that I know that I'm gonna have to prioritize. I am, in fact, in the process of reading them. So these are the ones that are going to make, oh my gosh, my reading this summer interesting. But I hope that if this challenge sounds at all interesting to you, give the video by Sue Jackson a watch. I think she also has a sign-up list and stuff. There's a couple of things you can do to get out there that you're participating. And, you know, tell me your big favorite book, the one that you love and the one that's on your radar. And if you do participate, let me know and we can commiserate together when we're struggling. Because let's be honest, I imagine there will be some moments of struggle, but I think it'll be really satisfying and I'm very excited. So, thank you very much. I'm going to take my coffee. I'm going to finish it, read a little bit of this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.